Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's video podcast. We are joined by the gentleman from Otherwise, based in Las Vegas, Nevada. They've recently dropped a new video that has some really compelling imagery from Las Vegas. It's my second home. Name of the CD is Otherwise, has Lifted as well as Crossfire. This video is called Crossfire. Ryan, you and Adrian want to introduce yourselves really quick?
Yeah,
What's up,
man?
Major Patrick?
I'm Ryan Patrick.
Right on, right on, right on.
That's my brother. I'm pointing down on the Zoom feed.
That's funny
right
because you're below me too.
Oh, okay, so my brother's right here on my screen, and TJ's right here.
I appreciate that, guys. Yeah, the new album that you guys dropped, Defy, is sick. I love every single track, start to finish. I like the new direction it went. The evolution of the band, to me, has just been something that's, in my mind, revolutionary. I like the maturity in both the production, the sound, and just how everything is fitting together. Like I said, with Las Vegas being a second home and just knowing you guys and the hard work that went into it, it's very, very special to me, very close to my heart. And that's why I think when I saw the video for Crossfire, not only is the live video from the shows laced in there, really, I'm a huge fan. So it's really solid to me. I just get super emotional when I see you guys perform, like, every time. There have been tears in eyes at some point. Adrian, there's been once or twice where you've come up to me after a show and like, hey man, is everything okay? And it's just the emotion you guys evoke in people when you perform. So
yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
we
dude.
appreciate. Yeah.
We appreciate you, Todd.
Thank you. So all of this crazy video chat. Ryan, where are you right now? Adrian, where are you right now?
I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, in our hometown. Actually, at our good friend John Boyko's new location of his business. It's called Structure Exhibits, and I stopped in to grab some equipment. And I'm hanging out in his office that's being built right now. So shout out to John Boyko and all the things he's done for our band and for our families. He's a really great man. So I'm over here hanging out in his office, missing him and missing you guys. But I'm in Las Vegas, where the city that is sleeping just for a little bit.
Taking a nap, right? I did an interview. Yeah. I did an interview yesterday, and somebody said, like, what's the number one thing you're feeling? And I said, man, I miss everybody, right? We were supposed to shoot a tournament yesterday, and man, I miss everybody. Being in the sport, being in the gym, being around these volleyball players. These guys are gold medal Olympians. A lot of them are playing international right now, and it's just between the music scene and the sports scene right now, being sequestered in home. I miss everybody. And I guess, Adrian, I don't know where you're at right now, but you probably feel the same way.
Oh yeah. I'm in upstate New York. It's weird. My brother and I have talked and discussed, sometimes the philosophy and dichotomy of, like, entertainment, like, and when you're denied it, like, when you can't, like, I'm, like, bummed that the UFC is not happening, this weekend, like I'm like, people are sad that they're not able to come see us play our shows. They can't come to our concerts. And, entertainment is at this point deemed non-essential, but I feel, quote unquote, non-essential. I feel that it's really going to make people realize how important it is to just like the human existence. You know what I mean? If we weren't allowed to have, if we weren't allowed music and entertainment and an outlet, I'm a very social person. My wife always calls me a social butterfly. Like, I don't like being stuck. I love my sons, dude. I love them, like, more than anything. The only other person I love more than them, as much as them, or is my brother. You know what I mean? Like they're the only people that I love, like, slightly more than him. But I have to take care of them. He takes care of me. But we can't go be around people. I need to. I like being social. I like the entertainment value that is provided in regular times is kind of taken for granted. I think this is putting everything in perspective a little bit.
Yeah, I'd mentioned earlier when my wife was on camera with you guys, it's when I'm bored, then I know you guys are bored. So it's just been brutal. So, well, let's talk about the new video. Let's talk about Crossfire. I gotta tell you, one thing that I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to do before we launch into that is check you guys out, hit up all your social media, right? You guys have got some really great stuff. Your Instagram handles, we'll hit those later on so people get a chance to write those down or check them out. I got to tell you, Lifted to me couldn't speak much more than it is right now. Every day is Groundhog Day. They get up, you ate some toast, you go in your office, you go to bed. It's the same thing over and over again. And that's the great concept behind Lifted. It's like raging every single day. It's pretty funny. So check out Lifted. It's off the Defy album. It's a great video. I love that you got a lot of your friends involved. Some other folks that used to be associated with the band, part of that as well. I think it was awesome. Let's talk Crossfire. So tell me about, and actually some of the timing as well. You know, I don't know if you guys just had like this supervision or if it was just like a really quick production. What idea drove the video? Like, what was your final idea for this? Was it a quick reaction? Was it something you guys had in the works to show how barren the city is? Tell me about that.
I do. TJ, I wish.
Yeah, go ahead. Go.
No, go.
No, let's go. You go.
Siblings.
Well, I wish that we had the foresight that you're talking about. Like, I wish that we had this grand vision that we're going to make this video for this song and it's going to be perfect. But, you know, we wrote the song for we wanted to use our experience in the music industry and kind of parallel that with the political landscape, you know, and you know, use it as like an allegory for the existence of being an artist in politically divided times. But then my brother could probably elaborate on this more. The video, and I hate using the term opportunity because, again, I hope we never see the streets of Vegas ever again like they are right now in our lifetimes. But my brother could probably elaborate on how the video content, the imagery was captured.
Yeah, I think the last night of me being social here in Las Vegas, you know, we're out at the Golden Tiki with the director Larry Hinson. We were just talking about the video concept for Crossfire and all these ideas we could do, but the shutdown hadn't taken place yet, and so we're like, we have these ideas, but let's see what happens. So it's literally just a couple days later, while we're still just kind of coming up with ideas for the song, the music video, we get this statewide shutdown, pretty much nationwide shutdown happening. So then we're like, okay, we need to pivot. What do we do? Like, and then the idea came like, oh man, we need to go, like, the strip shut down. And this is all due to like the crossfire of information, of virus, of mass hysteria, of so many things that we don't even, know about, so it's like, this is perfect. Let's show this city that never sleeps. Let's show them like sleeping, like Las Vegas is caught in the crossfire. So we're like, man, we're going to go out. We're going to be rogue. At that point, we were like, man, is this going to be like martial law shutdown? Are we going to get in trouble for driving on the Vegas Strip? And yeah, exactly. We don't even know, the likelihood of that happening. That's a whole other thing. But it just kind of came together. Larry was like, okay, I'm going to go down there. I'm going to try and get some shots. I'm going to go really late at night. We're going to be rogue. We're going to make it happen. And we did. And he got the footage.
Yeah. I mean, I should be like totally all smiles and everything, just getting a chance to sit down with you guys. But I feel the life draining out of me as you're talking about how empty the streets are and how things get shut down. It's just, it's just soul crushing. I've said it a few times. Struggling with this, man. It's tough.
Yeah, it's weird too, man. You know, because it's like the governor of Nevada. You know, there's some weird things. I don't mean to get like political about it, you know, but you know, we want to use our music to not only entertain but also enlighten. You know, and I understand that music and movies and entertainment are supposed to be an escape, but at the same time, you know, it is a double-edged sword. They should also educate. You know, like so. For example, the governor in our state, he shot down the what is it, chloroquine,
Oh yeah.
Hydroxychloroquine.
Chloroquine. That's right. And you know, he said that you know it's no, you know, he banned it, right? And then it turns out that he had all of the prison system hoarding it for the inmates.
Jeez.
You know, it's just weird stuff like that, man. You know, like I feel like they've been pulling a veil over our eyes for so long, and they're trying to see how far they can go with it. Yeah, I get it. People are dying, and this is there is a virus out there, but why? You know, like if you like, I'm not trying to get into conspiracy theories and stuff like that, but some of it is just so it's so coincidental. It's crazy, you know.
And it's tough because there's a very delicate balance of being cautious in what the other side of the actions, the effects of those are going to be felt. So I think we're going to see it for a long time. But you know, it's tough, right? It's really tough seeing the city shut down. You know, my next question was to talk about what the process is to conceptualize the final product, but it sounds to me like this was just natural and it fell together, and it just this was just so grassroots kind of. This just happened, man. Like real life happened, and you put it together.
Yeah,
it was a strange act of providence.
Yeah, for sure. So who did you, was it just yourselves and Larry that put the video together? Did you work with a team? You know, did John have some input on it, Mr. Boyko? How did all that work?
Larry had actually one of the gentlemen here, our friend Chris Takas. He helped Larry out getting the footage, but Larry definitely you know, he pushed it through and made it happen. He had grabbed all the live footage from our tour back in November. So and there's actually footage of us playing at the Hard Rock Hotel. A lot of the live footage in the video is from our annual holiday show that we do in Las Vegas. Yeah, and it was the last time at the world famous Hard Rock Hotel. It was the last show being done there, and that place, oddly enough, all the casinos are shut down now. But I guess it was like a precursor for us seeing the doors shut on the Hard Rock Hotel.
Yeah.
So the footage in that video is from the Hard Rock Hotel.
I want to put an exclamation point on that, because that needs to be something that's like footnoted in this video. That was the last show at Hard Rock that you guys performed. Being in Las Vegas, you were born into that. That was your place. That was the place you would go, right? So Chris Kale has talked about working and slinging drinks out there. You know, everybody you know has worked there. And for you guys to have that be your last final show of that year in the Hard Rock, I mean, that's like huge. That's prophetic, if you ask me.
Yeah, it was
enormous.
It was a very, very poignant moment that night. It was our last, you know, official electric set on a big stage, and you know, and that night, it wasn't actually technically our final show there, because they actually asked us to come back and do the closing of
the closing. That's right.
Yeah, which was an acoustic set. Now, so we did our holiday show inside vinyl, which I heard may still be around when they become virgins. So you never know. Maybe we will play vinyl again. But we actually officially played the closing of the Hard Rock Hotel. We did an acoustic set, and that night when we were leaving, my brother and I were taking the whole entourage. You know, we had a big party going.
Of course.
I can't remember where we went. I think we went to was it On the Record? I think we might have gone to.
On the Record. Yeah.
And as we're walking, yeah. And so TJ, you're talking about, friends who've worked there, and I mean, like we grew up in that place, but that was the last place of employment that our cousin Ivan Patrick was working at, at the time of his passing. Yeah, Cuzzo. And we as we're walking out, the guys at the bell desk were walking out to Main Valet, Main Valet was the iconic valet that was underneath the fender. So the giant
best.
neon fender, yeah. So the giant neon Gibson was at the cafe, but the giant neon fender, the Gibson was upright, but the fender was like kind of like pointing out over the top of Main Valet. And if you grew up in Vegas, dude, walking into Main Valet, pulling up the Main Valet, starting the night, that was where you started. Everybody went to Hard Rock. Let's meet at Center Bar. What are we going to do tonight? I don't know. Let's meet at Center Bar. We'll figure it out. That was where you went to go and have an epic night that you most likely will not remember, right?
Yeah, we finished up there with Seven Dust one time as well. So we've had a lot of good times there.
So we got done, and we got done with our final the farewell. It was an amazing night, farewell to the Hard Rock. And as we're walking out, the guys at the bell desk, they stopped us and they were like, "Hey, listen, we have something for you guys." And they come out, like 2-3 guys come out, and they have this picture of our cousin Ivan that they kept in the back because he worked at the bell desk. They kept it. I mean, it's going on 10 years now that he passed away, and they kept it up in the back office of the bell desk for almost a decade. And they gave it to us. We have it. We're gonna give it to his mama.
Every October, I get so sad thinking about that time. Yeah, insane. It's funny. To call out the obvious, you've got the little ones running around there with all this video stuff. I've been at conferences all week with work, and every once in a while, a little one just pops his head in the frame. I've been sitting there where somebody's bird jumped up on the desk in front of the camera. It's crazy.
A bird?
So, yeah, she's got a parrot, and the parrot was walking around. And
look, I see a bird right there.
Look at this little cat right here.
That's fantastic.
Hold on here. Let me give you this one so you can hear.
That's fantastic.
Put this in your ear like that. Okay, and then you can talk. All right, let's switch sides because that way you can talk. This one has the microphone. This side has a microphone.
Oh, hey, can you hear us now?
Can you hear them? Can you hear Uncle Ryan?
Oh, buddy. Hello.
No, don't hold that part. Yeah, you got to talk.
Not yet.
And that's Mr. TJ. Say hi, Mr. TJ.
Hi, Mr. TJ.
How you doing, buddy? I'm in Ohio. I'm right next door to you guys in New York.
Yeah, he's in Ohio. He's in the same time zone as we are. Say Ohio. Can you say Ohio? Say Ohio. All right, if you're not going to talk, you got to get off camera. Say
Ohio.
Ohio.
There you go.
He doesn't want to get off camera.
No, he never does.
Well, and it's funny. And it's funny because the whole, one of my next questions was how the internet has impacted everything. And clearly we're seeing it now, right? So people are spending more time at home in their own home environment. They're seeing people all the way across the country and having unique experiences like this.
Yeah, I was wondering about the Zoom app. Like the difference between this and FaceTime is that we're able to do multiple viewers. Is that correct? Is that why it's like still groundbreaking and like?
Yeah, multiple viewers. You can bring many people on camera. You can record the session like we're doing now for the magazine.
Haven't there been other apps that allowed you to have multiple users and record?
There have been like WebEx. Microsoft Teams allows you to do that. I think Zoom, because it's so easy, it's also free. Like I use the paid so I can record, but a lot of people will set up a Zoom account at no charge. It's covered. The costs are covered by advertisers. But yeah, it really took hold because of the fact that it was very low cost or no cost.
Yeah, and it's super convenient too, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, kiddo, you go run upstairs. I'm gonna get back to work with Uncle Ryan and Mr. TJ.
They're
okay?
stopped.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Say
Take care,
quarantine
buddy. Nice
sucks.
to see you.
Quarantine sucks.
Quarantine sucks.
Quarantine sucks.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Uh,
so let's talk about that. Like, how do you feel the internet and all this type of video stuff has impacted video launch compared to how it used to be when we were growing up, right? So you guys are trying, everybody's dropping videos through YouTube or all these different channels. Like, how is that, how do you guys feel it's impacted that compared to the old days? I mean, like Michael Jackson, right? So when MTV first came on air and Michael Jackson was going to be the first video and stuff like that. But now it's like instant and on demand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's changed. It's been a long time coming, though. You know, everything. This quarantine has just really solidified it as the new way of kind of getting the art out there. You know, we focus so much on, you know, touring and flyering shows, and then there's, you know, YouTube artists and people who have figured out the social media you know, system that get their product and get their art out to far more people. So, you know,
Yeah.
the World Wide Web is the way of the future, and we're at the forefront of it now. You know, we're forced now, thankfully, to understand what some acts have been doing for a while now.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think
that's a very good question. It's a complicated question though, too, TJ, because it's, you know, as art, we talk about how it's double-edged, you know, it's a double-edged sword. Like back in the day when you're mentioning like us growing up on like MTV and VH1, it was easier in the sense that, okay, the exposure was very much more streamlined. You put your video, if your video was on MTV or VH1, millions of people are guaranteed to see you, no matter whether they like you or not. But the difficulty was how lied in the sense of how difficult it was to get your video on MTV or VH1, right? But
yeah,
now it's so much easier with online video streaming, but it's also, you're not guaranteed to get that viewership because everybody's saturating the market, you know?
yeah.
So it's like this weird back and forth of like chicken and the egg.
It's been interesting, you know, you guys know, we've talked about it over the years. It's been interesting to see how different bands are approaching in different ways, whether it be performances that they light up. I mean, when I open Instagram now, there are at least 4 or 5 people live at any given point in time broadcasting. So you guys actually have a guy there in Las Vegas now. He spent quite a bit of time overseas by the name of Daniel Park. I'm a big Daniel Park fan, and he's going live more often on Instagram. He plays a lot of covers. He uses a looping machine. Super talented guy. But I'm seeing more and more of that. You know, I see other bands. I think I mentioned earlier, August Burns Red. You know, I'm a big fan of theirs as well. Good guy goes out on tour with them, creating content by the name of Ray Duker, and they'll
Our
when they
boys
drop.
in Elvis Monroe did the same thing. They've been doing that a lot. Our buddy Sean Eiferman's been doing he's been trying to raise funds for all the musicians who aren't working, doing exactly this thing you're talking about, TJ.
Oh yeah, yeah, and we've got to, you know, I got to be honest with you. There's so much more. I feel like in some people's predicaments, more money, more discretionary spending now than there has been in the past. I mean, now's the time to support the arts, right? So all these people that you're mentioning, Adrian, right? They've all got these campaigns. They need to be supported, right? In the tax relief bill that went through, there was a boatload of money for the arts there in Washington, D.C. You know, if it's important enough for those guys to be getting that funding, it's important enough for the fan base of all of these different bands, Elvis Monroe, otherwise, to be supporting the bands at that point. Patreon, people are using more Patreon. I mean, my first ever consistent Patreon that I'm subscribing now on a monthly basis is for a musician. So everyone's getting super creative. Yeah, super creative. So I've got a handful more questions, 5 or 6 of them. I think, you know, for you guys, I would say what has been your favorite video to make so far? Like Lifted clearly looked like a good time, but I don't want to lead you in that direction. What's been your favorite video to make so far?
Lifted was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, it was a lot of fun. But
Coming for
as
the
you know,
Throne was sick.
yeah, Coming for the Throne was fun too because I was on the road.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I Don't Apologize was pretty cool. That was the first time we were acting in a video.
Yeah, that's true. That was a good. That was the first time. Well, not technically. There's the Emerson Road video too.
Oh yeah.
Hey, watch yourself. I love that video. Yeah, listen,
that video is cool. Ivan, our cousin, we were talking about cousin. Ivan was there on set the whole time, which was pretty cool. His son actually starred in it. I don't know. The thing is, videos. Yeah, his son Elijah Patrick's in the video. Videos are weird, you know what I mean, TJ? Because they're fun to make, and then for a couple hours, and then they're just sitting around going, dude, come on, for like another 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's hard to say which one your favorite is. They're
yeah.
I know which ones that I don't like to watch. There's a couple that I'm like, oh God, dude, why do we make that video?
Yeah, but you know what? Your fan base, they love it. I mean, I'm one of them, right? I love all these videos you guys have put out. I'm a huge fan of. So there's nothing I've looked at and cringed. So nothing. I love it.
You're too kind.
You guys are the best.
Thanks,
so,
man.
I would say, to change a little bit, maybe start to move towards some of the advice that you guys as veterans might have. What would you say the toughest part of being in a band and artists for you guys, and separate the fact that being brothers, right? I mean, that can be good and that can be bad. I think I've seen mostly good from you guys. I've never been around or seen you guys sibling rivalry reacting like I do with my brothers. We rail on mine all the time. But what's the toughest part as for kids that are just starting out, that you guys would give them advice about being, in a band and being artists?
Probably the expectations, dealing with the expectations to the reality of it, and there's always that shot, there's always that chance of fortune and glory. Some bands hit the jackpot, but for most, you really have to be anchored in the love of playing the music, and I think a lot of guys who jump into the bands are like, we want to play, we did too. When we started out, we wanted to be the biggest band in the world and rock to tens of thousands, and we have done that. We have rocked to tens of thousands, but the tough thing is that when you're sleeping in the van night after night, you're not getting good sleep, you're not getting good food, everybody's tired, everybody's cranky, you're missing home. It's not the reality of it. You would never expect that being a rock and roll artist is like that. So you got to keep the expectations in check and understand that this is just as hard, if not harder, than having the 9-to-5 job at home.
That's a great point my brother makes. Like the reconciliation of the dream and the reality is by far been the most difficult thing. We grew up on the age of, I grew up watching Cribs on MTV, watching all these guys in hard rock and metal bands living in mansions, or at least having nice cars in a nice neighborhood with a nice house, and then the reality set in, file sharing set in, hindsight's 2020, but there were so many factors that came into play that really changed the landscape of hard rock, and that are hard to deal with, especially when you come from this, you have this pipe dream of, dude, we're gonna have a house up in the Hollywood Hills. And it's like, well, the odds of that get smaller and smaller as you move further and further into the game. every band, every unsigned band, every hometown band is like, dude, once we sign a record deal, we made it. And that's how we thought for a long time. But there's that point where you get to that point, and it's like, well, what do you do once you get there? Now what do you do? Now how do you conduct yourself, you know? And like my brother said, the reality is very, the reconciliation between the dream and the reality is a hard thing.
Gotta be hungry. Gotta be hungry. So in the list of questions, there's one of them that I tend to ask every once in a while, and this is totally going to be out of left field for Ryan. So I'll probably ask Adrian to answer it first so that Ryan can think about it. What is the most useless talent that you have? And I probably should have waited so you didn't spit that drink out, Adrian.
The most
what is
useless talent?
the most useless talent you have?
Useless. Oh man. Well, it's funny. You know, it's funny you asked that, TJ, because we've been playing a lot of Trivial Pursuit. Because there's nothing else to do when you're stuck in quarantine. And apparently, I know a whole lot of useless bullshit information that will never. For whatever reason, I read something. I guess my useless talent is like scrolling. I don't sleep that well, so when I'm not sleeping, I'm like just reading random ass stories in my news feed. I guess my useless talent would be gathering useless information.
That's fantastic.
And storing that as opposed to things that are actually pertinent.
Wasting brain space. That's right.
Yeah.
What about you, Ryan?
Man, I'm trying to think. I mean,
a tough one.
That is a tough one. You know, all my talents are very useful.
That's what she said.
Yeah. I don't know, man. You know, I was trying to think. You know, it's like I'm really good at, like, I can rearrange a room, you know, like 10 times over. You know,
he is very good at that. You can do that in like one day.
Yeah, you know, it's like I just, you know, which I guess as far as feng shui is concerned, it's kind of useful, but I'm just like, man, this room doesn't feel right. But for no reason, I'm just like,
I'm gonna change it.
I gotta change it up.
I'm going to send you a 360-degree picture. I need you to freaking re-engineer my office for sure, man. I got guitars hanging all over the place. I got pictures on the wall. Yeah. So, well, let me, here's one last goofy question. And again, it should be pretty straightforward. Go off the cuff. Do you guys sing in the shower?
Oh,
like, yeah. I hear Becky all the way through the house, right? Our bathroom and shower is way over on the other corner of the room. I hear her singing loud and proud, man. So Ryan, you do. Adrian, how about you?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt, man.
Okay,
dude. When we have bath time with the boys, man, I got Prince and Otherwise blasting, dude.
Some of the best reverb. Some of the best reverb you can get. Natural reverb.
I was just gonna say that it's got to sound amazing. Yeah, the reverb. So aside from Kids Bop, right, Adrian, what are you guys singing in the shower?
No, we ain't singing no Kids Bop, man. We're like, when we got, like I said, when we got bath time going, we're listening to Otherwise, we're listening to Prince, we're listening to like 90s hip hop. You know what I'm saying? We're listening to like Stone Temple Pilots. Like,
your Lion Cubs are coming for the throne, man.
Yeah. No Kids Bop, man.
How about you, Ryan?
I've been rocking Bill Withers lately, very recently. You know, in honor of him. I've been singing his songs back, and they feel good to sing for sure.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna bump some Bill. I'm gonna bump some Bill for the boys tonight.
Yeah, Lean on Me, man. Ain't No Sunshine. They're such simple, powerful songs. You know,
Ain't No Sunshine's my favorite.
The soul is just it's so alive in those melodies. So I've been specifically singing those lately.
Yep. What's the name of it? Is it Use Me Up? Is that the Bill Withers song? And then you use me up.
Oh, I'm not sure. I think so.
I like his slower, smoother stuff. I'm not sure. So I've got 2 or 3 more questions. As we're winding down. Is it? Okay. I've got 2 or 3 questions. As we start to wrap up, let's get more into where you guys are headed. Let's talk about what are you working on now? Surely you're writing and continuing to create. What do you got grooving now that you want to share or promote, right? So the video is just absolutely in fuego. I can't tell you again how much I love the Defy album. You guys signed it up for me. We got some names and some liner notes. I always appreciate what you guys do. Let's talk about what you got shaking now. You got some content in the can. What are you working on?
Well, the song, we just found out today that the song got added to Octane on Sirius XM. So that's
excellent.
Cool.
Heck yeah. Check it out on Octane. I love it. I love it.
Crossfire, baby.
For sure. Yeah. Reach out for some of those who might be part of, I think it's called the Air Force or something like that. Get a chance to request that. Reach out to Shannon Guns. Tell her what to do. Right.
Shannon,
you got
it. Yeah.
That's right.
Grant.
So,
I think his name's Grant. Yeah.
Yep.
Grant,
yeah, for
baby.
sure. Yeah, Grant Random. Got Lou Brutus in there somewhere. As a matter of fact, I picked up Lou's book this week. Love it. I haven't got a chance to start reading it yet, but Brother Lou sent a guitar pick along there and autographed it, CV 2020. So I can't wait to take a look at that. Cool. So let's talk a little bit about, I really don't want to go down a super dark road. I've got one more question to lift it up, but really, have you guys ever seen it this barren in the city? Set aside everything that happened in 91, but how can you compare what's going on now compared to like the big financial crush of 2008? Like, was it still super mega busy in 2008 around 9/11? Was it still packed?
Oh yeah, the
bars are slammed.
Okay.
You kidding me? When there's a depression or a recession or people are stressed, where do you think they go, dude? They go to the bars. They go get drunk. They go and try and escape. Las Vegas is the perfect place to escape reality. And so it's very strange reality that there's nobody here. Now the streets, like the if you look out, I don't know if you guys can see, but there are cars on the street and people, the suburbs are, relatively functioning and people are going crazy at the Walmarts and, the stores. And, but yeah, never, ever have we seen this strip. Never did we think we'd see the strip like this. And I never want to see the strip like this again. It's very strange.
It's funny, like as natives, like, one of the things is like, we're gonna go downtown, man. No, we don't go to the strip, dude. We ain't going to the strip, man. That's for tourists. And I feel like, at least, and I don't mean to speak for everybody, but after this, I'm gonna be like, I always love going to the strip anyway. Like, I love to go to the strip anyway. Like when my wife and I were living in Vegas, I used to say, let's go take the boys for a walk. Let's go walk down the strip. And I hope that like every other native is also like, dude, let's go to the fucking strip because there's no other place like it on the planet.
Well,
they'll never take advantage of that ever again. Yeah.
Yeah, the casinos will, there'll be some more incentives to getting us out there. They started charging for parking and doing all these upcharges, and it's like, dude, no, you're gonna lose a lot of the locals. But now hopefully, like my brother's saying, hopefully everybody is like reinvigorated when it's time to start going back out again.
Yeah, for sure. Well, before we wrap up, let me ask one more thing, because we definitely want to close with happy thoughts. What are we going to see from you guys in 2020? Refiring all the tours. What are you guys thinking here? What are we going to see between now and the annual holiday show?
You'll probably see a lot of this. It's like our faces on screens.
Yeah, I mean it's
at the end of quarantine.
Yeah, I'm excited because you guys had a tour you had to shut down, right?
Yeah, we postponed. We had the Defy Division.
Postponed it.
Defy Division tour.
That's right.
As of right now, we're rebooking all the shows.
Good.
And it'll be happening later this year.
Okay, cool. So it'll be a great opportunity for the real Las Vegas band to get out on the road. I think that's one of the most important things to always drive home is that, we hear other people talk about, being a band from Las Vegas, but the reality is you guys are truly born, bred, UNLV, all of those places that we've went and visited Las Vegas. So it's very
there's not another band on active rock that's been around longer than us from Las Vegas. There's a lot of bands that have transplanted to Las Vegas, and there's a few bands, even Escape the Fate started after us, and they're different members now. But yeah, there's not another band that is at the national recording level that's been playing as long as us and from Las Vegas. So yes, I love when you say that we're the
Born
real
and raised, baby.
yeah,
That's right.
we're the real Las Vegas band. Like
You are the
start-
Las Vegas house band. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I'll take that, man. I'll take that.
Heck yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, let me give you guys a minute or two to wrap up anything. If you want to share your social media hashtags, please do that. If you've also, if there are some folks with your content creators, if you could mention their names again when we drop the interview, I'll make sure to get their social media plugged in, because I know that's really important for the guys that are out helping you guys make videos and
Yep.
produce videos.
Yep.
You know, it's very important for those guys behind the scenes to get out
Absolutely.
there. It's all yours. Tell me about closing it out and your social media tags.
Yeah, our Instagram is We Are Otherwise. Our Twitter is We Are Otherwise. Our Facebook is Otherwise Official.
Big ups to Larry Hinson and Kill Pop Media.
Hinson Media, Kill Pop, John Boyko, Chris Takas, everybody at Structure Exhibits.
Everyone at Mascot
Everybody
Label.
at Mascot Records that's pushing the single. Everybody at Octane picking it up, and the radio stations that believe in us, you know. And mainly biggest shout out really is to like the fans. You know, I know everybody says that all the time, but it's true. You know, biggest shout out goes out to the people who care to listen and care to tune in and care to keep supporting us, and
especially now,
know, ordering the merch online. You know, it's
sure.
really, really cool.
You got Louis Cosby.
Talking about merch. We got merch. Flash sale merch, right?
Right on.
Yeah. We're gonna put up some more discounts. You know, some COVID-19 discounts. You know, so
yeah, right.
You got our merch.
You got
is
Louis.
OtherwiseMusic.com. Yeah, and Louis Cosby.
Oh yeah, Louis Cosby.
Louis over at Empire Reign, right?
You don't know where I've been, Lou.
Yeah,
you don't know where I've been.
Louis Cosby has jumped in and really, really helped us a lot lately. He's been on the team for a couple of years, and he's really taken the ball and ran with it in the last couple months. So.
Jay Tavernese over there. You got Preston Bonner's always a big part of the scene as well. So lots of really great people.
Guys. Yeah, we miss those guys for sure.
Yeah, you guys have surrounded yourself with some real talent, some real rock star people. So for sure, all part of the team.
Too. Thank you, TJC.
You're
always,
on this
man.
call too, TJC.
Hey, I love it. Listen, guys, thanks for the time today. It's awesome. Everything that we've got going for UnHinged Magazine can be found at www.unhingedmag.com. When I drop the interview today, right on. When I drop the interview, I'll probably plug in a few shots from your show in Lakewood, Ohio, when you guys came through here before. We got some good stuff. Yeah. And we'll get everything posted, and then spread the wise word, man.
Yeah,
right?
Man.
Old school, so baby.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Much love, baby.
Much love, TJ. Thank you, dude.
Everybody take care. Love you all.
Love
Peace.
you, brothers.
Right on.